English for 10 years now. And my topic today is school for two reasons. First of all, I'm a student in a Hungarian secondary school. So I think I have already gained a realistic insight, despite the fact that I haven't experienced all kinds of educational institutions yet. And I also want to be a teacher in the future. So I think this topic is quite close to me. My presentation includes the following topics. First of all, I would like to explain how the education in Hungary works. Then I will compare it to the one in the USA. I would like to highlight the importance of foreign languages, then every school programs and organizations which are held at schools besides learning. I would mention the negative side of school life and also the advantages, of course. Let's consider the Hungarian education. Those children who are under the age of 6 have the opportunity to go to kindergarten. Usually they just play together and learn some songs, because the natural educational system starts with the primary school at the age of 6 or 7. It consists of 8 grades, and students can acquire basic knowledge there, such as writing, reading, or some basic arithmetic. After that, they start learning Hungarian grammar and literature, history, and part of natural sciences as well. And school can teach them how to be polite with the tutors, how to behave themselves during the lessons, or just act as a part of a class. At the age of 14 or 15, an important choice comes to the pupils' lives, because they have to decide whether to attend a secondary school or a vocational school. In a secondary school, they start preparing for the school leaving examination, and after that they have the chance for a higher education, such as university. While in a vocational school, they start learning one specific occupation, and they usually leave the school a bit earlier, at 16 or 17. I think in secondary schools, students have more opportunities to learn according to their interest. So study groups, talent management, and sports circles are available. And in the last 2 years, they can choose 2 subjects which they can learn at an advanced level. These are the faculties. To take final exam in Hungarian grammar and literature, history, mathematics, and one foreign language is compulsory, and they have to choose one other subject which can be their favorite one, or something which is obligatory for their further studies at the university. And the universities operate similarly like in any other country, so it takes 6 to 12 semesters to get your degree. Let me move on to the education in the USA. I think the situation is quite different there. So before the educational system, there is another institution called preschool. Actually, the 5 and the 6 years old are allowed to visit these institutions to acquire prior knowledge for the school. And after that, the education starts with the elementary school until the 5th grade, then the middle school comes, and after that the high school. The high school is the most necessary part of the education, and students can choose their core subjects there, and it often belongs to graduation or college. In my point of view, Americans have more opportunities to learn only deeply what really interests them, while in Hungary the education is much more based on the linguistic knowledge. My next point is the significance of language learning. The importance of language learning has been already explored, so in Hungary we must learn at least 2 of them. At my school we can choose 2 from many options, and to take at least 1 foreign language is required for obtaining a degree, so secondary schools place much more emphasis on language teaching than they did before. For instance, if I take my parents' generation into consideration, I can state that the language knowledge is not self-evident around them, while a basic English knowledge is almost guaranteed for everyone nowadays. And of course, we can gain a lot of things through language learning. For instance, it creates new opportunities, helps you to become more self-aware, and it also creates a greater view of the world. I have brought two charts. In this one we can see that most people learn English as a foreign language, but the French, German, Spanish, Russian and Italian are also so popular. For instance, at our school we can learn English, French, German, Spanish and Russian as well. In the other one we can see that 85% of secondary or primary school students learn at least one foreign language in Hungary. And now I would like to change directions and speak about the fun part of school life. Returning to the language learning, we have an exchange student program when students, usually at the age of 16, have the opportunity to go abroad, and they have a partner, and after that their partners come to Hungary. Besides that, the ball is held every year. We have a special beloved day called Students' Day, when students have the chance to show their talents as a part of a performance. This was our first Students' Day and our last one. We always dance and we always enjoy preparing for that special day. Of course, we argue a lot during the preparation, but after that we are always so satisfied with our results. But I can even mention the sports day, half day, or the project weeks. This is my favorite photo because this was the first time when we had to act as a class and create something together. And of course, we also celebrate the national holidays together. So for instance, this is a photo from our class Christmas, and this is how we celebrated our class teacher's birthday. Let me move on to the most difficult part of my presentation, because we don't really like to talk about these things, or we just don't dare, I don't know, because school carries a lot of stress and constraints of compliance. Actually, thanks to the tests and exams, students have to face it many expectations day by day, which on the one hand is useful because of the future difficulties, but on the other hand, sometimes the tension in them is no longer healthy. Some students suffer from sleep disorders, and other serious health problems can arise due to the long-term ordeals. And I want to highlight the school abuse due to the fact that the frequency of these cases is only increasing, and it makes the school a nightmare for thousands of children daily. Actually, the spiritual terror that can affect them distort their self-image, and in some cases it can even lead them to suicide. This photo presents that every fifth student experienced at least once the bullying, which means 20%. And in the 21st century, of course, other areas of bullying have appeared. So I'm talking about the social media websites, for instance, when students can hurt each other even at home. And there are a lot of consequences of cyberbullying as well. The most common one is the development of social anxiety, but 9% of these kids start drinking alcohol or using drugs. Well, to speak about something happy, I would like to mention the benefits we can gain through the education, because of course we can gain 1,000 times more benefits. So it secures a higher income, upgrades our problem-solving skills, it creates equal opportunity, bridges the borders. It gives you a greater sense of discipline and also develops your communication skills through the group assignments in which you have to compromise with your classmates, solve something together, discuss a problem. So I think we can state that without schooling we wouldn't be able to reach our goals or to find our vocation, or at least I wouldn't have been able to find my vocation. And I think it's necessary to live a life we want in the future. And at the end of my presentation, I would like to quote from one of our most significant Hungarian scientists, Albert Szent-Györgyi, who said that discovery consists of looking at the same thing as everyone else and thinking something different. In my interpretation, it means that we learn the same things from the same teachers, but we can understand them in different ways. And I think this is the most beautiful part of education, that we have the chance to gain new experiences